everybody. Welcome to some seaside meditation. It's quite beautiful outside. It's a bit rainy, but what is the rain but something to wash away the old, to help bring in growth for something of the new. Anyways, I hope today's been a good day for you, and if it hasn't, I wish that the rest of the day will continue to pour its blessings upon you, and that the universe will show you its guidance and its strength. I'm allowing the universe and its higher powers to use me as a conduit for divine intuition, knowledge, and a betterment of experience. It's always good to begin with a couple deep breaths. Help release the energy that is negative and bring in the good through controlled breathing exercises. I like to start with something simple. We're going to start here. We're going to go in for 4 seconds. Then we're going to hold for 4 seconds. And release for another 4 seconds. And hold for 4 seconds. So, all together, it's going to look like this. You can do this for as long as you'd like to. I like to try to continue it throughout my meditation and exercise, a regulated breathing. It helps slow down the heart rhythm and activate central nervous system responses of relaxation. As you're doing this, you can begin to feel the energy throughout different parts of your body. It can be easy to start with something simple like your fingertips, the top of your scalp, or your toes. Just feel the energy flowing through them. Detach yourself from the physical realm and allow yourself to feel those slight tingling sensations as atoms move and energy vibrates and different frequencies respond to the different things around them. As you continue to breathe, continue to allow these feelings and sensations of energy experience to crawl throughout your body. Work from those extremities, such as the scalp or your fingertips, and slowly work your way in. Begin to feel the parts of your face. Relax the muscles of the face. Your tongue is probably pressed up against the roof of your mouth right now. You can relax that. You can unclench your jaw. You can unstiffen your scowl and allow your cheeks to stretch once again. As you do this, you may begin to notice a feeling of numbness in a way. It is simply your body's way of letting go to constantly feeling the physical needs and extremities and allowing yourself to feel the vessel that is this body and your spirit flowing throughout this vessel. Take pride, but be careful not to let pride become the fallen, as pride comes before the fall. You were born into this human experience to humble our ego. Our souls limited themselves to these vessels so that we can learn to nurture, grow, and share love with those around us. What is a world without love, full of hate and constant oppression? And that is not to say that this is a call to action, but rather a call to peace. We get so caught up in overthinking things and thinking that thinking is the way to go. Whereas when we are thinking in a philosophical way and in a meditative way, we are allowing our thoughts to enter our brain. We observe them, yes, but we do not react to them. We allow them to pass through. After all, our conscious thoughts are just simply that, reactions to our subconscious thoughts and our subconscious feelers. If you're a person who goes through stress, over-worrying, overthinking, self-doubting, confliction thoughts, there's nothing wrong with that. In inheritance, that is what individuality is. Individuality means that you stay connected as one through the duality. Indi, or uni, a collection of one throughout the dichotomy. It reminds me of one of my favorite phrases, comes from a Greek root, Greek terms, agathokakological. It means to both be one while also holding the characteristics of both good and evil. After all, we are all but two sides of the same coin. How can a tree's leaves, how can a tree's leaves reach heaven if its roots do not first reach hell? We have to take grip of the darkness in our brains, take a hold of the subconscious thoughts for evil, and use them for good. And it is not always the case. There is evil in the world, and there are things that will bring pure evil. After all, thus is the balance of the yin and the yang. The good must have evil in it, and the evil must have good in it. Otherwise, the world cannot function. We must have a balance. As you continue to feel the energies crawl throughout your body, think about the good things that you've done. Be proud of yourself. Circling back to pride. Be proud of the things that you have accomplished. After all, they are what make you who you are. You must also take accountability for the evil that you have accomplished. After all, you are not who you are if it has not been for the things that you have done. Take responsibility and accountability, but do not let those past actions define you. Who you are is who you are now, and who you are in the past is still who you are now, but it is not. You are now the accumulation of everything that you've ever been, as well as the new experiences that ever come through your vessel and soul, and compromise the exact thoughts of who we are. Compromisation is not exactly a bad thing. We must always compromise ourselves and our own sense of stability and comfortability in order to find new comfortability and stability. If you are not happy with where you are in life, perhaps you are too comfortable. Perhaps you are too complacent. It is through these meditations and learnings that I hope to help guide you into a new way of being, a new way of processing, and a new way of contemplation in the different facets of this mechanically driven world. But you must first still be proud of what you have done. The good, that is. Take hold of that. You have done good. You cannot have done evil without first of doing good, or do evil without doing good after. There must be the balance. Take hold of the things that are good that you have done, and use those to strengthen, sharpen, define your character. Iron sharpens iron. Steel sharpens steel. This is also something you can never do on your own. Self-contemplation can take you so far, can carry you to immense levels. But it can also take other people reaching in, taking a look, and giving you other observations in new angles that you have not yet perceived from. The world is an ever-changing constant. The world will remain the constant and the same that it always is. The seasons will change, the rain will fall, the old will be washed away, and the new will take its place. But through all that, it still remains the same. And thus this analogy can still be said for the human being. We are beings of constant change, constant evolution. But how can we attempt to do that if we do not first recognize that we need change to begin with? Complacency will kill the desire for change. You become comfortable in a position, comfortable in a situation, comfortable in a relationship, and the effort, the alertness, the awareness will start to draw away. We are beings that need to be constantly alert. And that doesn't mean to overworry and overthink, but simply being aware and having an open, sober mind to those things around us that influence our energy and those things around us that define who we are. I'm going to go back into some deep breathing. I love you, and I want you to know that. This first episode may be very disorganized and a bit chaotic, and that is also because as I'm helping you go through your own journeys, I'm still going through my own. And thus is also another facet of life. We are constantly changing. Nobody is perfect. Nobody is fully 100% aware and present. We can do so much to work on ourselves, but at the end of the day, we are still just that, human. And that is not to say that that is an excuse. It is by no means an excuse. But it is also a reminder and an encourager for whenever you do find yourself slipping to meet goals, expectations, and standards of your own being. And do not fall yourself. Do not feel or cast doubt upon yourself whenever you do not live up to societal expectations. Societal expectations are there to make us question ourselves, to keep us aligned in the simple 3 chakra, to keep us shown that love is just that, a word. But love is so much more. Love is so much more. Love is so much more than you or I could possibly imagine. Love is the intertwining energy that connects all things and allows all things to be created. We were created with love, not hate. We were created out of the pure desire for compassion, to spread love and ingenuity and expression of creativity to those around us and to the world around us. We were called to not just be stewards of ourselves, but stewards of the world in which we live in. Yes, we must take from the world to replenish ourselves, but we must also replenish the world in order to replenish ourselves. We must take, but we must also give. It is the consciousness that runs throughout us all. The ingrained dichotomy of the self. We are egotistical, we are prideful, but we are also capable of extreme humility. And whenever people learn to dissolve those bitter levels and shells of hatred that we can learn to show love to those around us and give nothing but an abundant life to those who give us nothing but an abundant life. Love is a direct energy. Where you spend it may not be the place it comes back to you, but it is the cycle. You may send it and it will come back. The energy you give and the energy that you put out as a person is not forsaken, and it is not in vain. If you are a person who sits there spending all of your time giving to other people, giving love, giving selflessness, giving care, just know that it is not in vain. Your love will be returned to you, and it will not, I correct myself, it may not be from the places that you send it out to, but it will always come back to you, and it will always find its way to you. The universe is always willing to give you what you want, but it is also always willing to give you a distraction to see if you are ready for what you are wanting. So if you have dreams, goals, aspirations, chase after them with a divine grip of knowledge and intuition that you can overcome whatever obstacles may face your way, whatever distractions, challenges come your way. There will be very many hard times. We are facing through them right now. But that is what gives us the ability to become stronger, mentally, fortuitously. In our own cyclic diseases, we find the cyclic cures. It is the way that life works. I'm sorry that this is so unorganized and chaotic. I've expressed this before, but I'm still very much in a way of organizing my own thoughts and feelings, expressions of gratitude and amplitude of feelings throughout these circuits that run through these vessels and highways and interstates of these narrow connections. Because all of these pathways are connected. Every single one of them. Everything is connected. One must come from the other, and the other must come from one. I don't know who needs to hear this right now, but you are a kind soul, full of bitterness. You have the love to give, and you have an overabundance of it, but you don't know where to direct it. You don't know where to pour it out to, so you let it fester, and you let yourself compromise, turning the purity of your love into the tainted hatred of disgust. And as opposed to pouring out a glass that is full of serenity, you pour out a glass that is full of vileness, not even on your own accord, but because you do not know how to do anything else. I pray for you. I wish for you that you will soon recognize how to carry these facets, how to direct these energies and channels, how to become the conduit of your own love. Because right now, you're allowing it to burn out into a vessel of destruction. Serotonin is a chemical that produces happiness and good thoughts, similar to dopamine. When your body overproduces serotonin, or produces a majority of it, and it does not get used up, it turns into melatonin, which, as you may or may not know, is the sleepy time chemical, the chemical that makes you tired. It is an excellent analogy for the dichotomy of good and bad in its own sense. You can be so full of love, so full of energy, and have nowhere to properly spend it, extinguish it in a way that allows you to restore yourself, that it turns into tiredness, it turns into lethargia, it turns into apathy. Love will turn into apathy if not channeled properly. When you do not know where to give your love to or how to give it, you simply think that you cannot give it, and therefore you must give apathy, the lack of love, the lack of care to others. But this is not how it has to be. Yes, there are times and places for apathy, but this is not now. This is not now. Now is a time for love, care, and sharing of experiences. A care for the self that can only be shown as a care for others, and vice versa. How can you expect to pour a glass into others if you are not your first self pouring a glass for yourself? I love you, and I wish you the best on your journeys. And again, I do apologize sincerely for the concordant discombobulation and disorganization of this message. I am not a very well-organized brain, and that is something that I am working on. And I hope that by doing these little videos, little experiences, and maybe little teachings, if I can help anybody, if anybody gets anything from this, I am immensely obliged, immensely grateful for your understanding and recognition. You mean so much to the world, and you have plenty to give. You have plenty of things to offer, plenty of experiences to share. But you cannot do that and receive the wonderful abundance of joy that is coming your way if you do not first give it. I wish the best for you. Always will. No matter what you have done. There are not many others like me out there. Or there are many others out there like me who I'm yet to discover. And I'm hoping that through these meditations, I can find those people and find those series of enlightenments and bringing together of a comfy soul, of an aware soul, of an alert soul, that we can create a community, one that has already been created and has been in the works for eons, a collective consciousness, if you will. If this rings any bells to you, then you are already one of us, and I welcome you. And I thank you for taking the time out of your day to be part of the collective with us, to be part of this collective human experience and this consciousness that shares one bleeding, aching soul. We are in need of a lot of help, but we cannot simply expect that help to come from others. We must also give it. We must give help to others who are less fortunate to us. Give help to those who are more fortunate than us. And that may be something that is extremely difficult to do when you see people walking around unawakened, people who walk around thinking nothing but themselves. But it is whenever you unlock these different mindsets and join this journey that we are on, that you start to see the other sides of the world. You start to see what love can really do, how love can shape the universe and spread joy and not hate. There's a lot of awful, vile things going on in this world right now. Things that I won't refuse to acknowledge because they are very much happening. They are fact in reality. Awful things are happening. But what we as people in our control can do is show love, show compassion, show that there are other ways to being than hate, show that not everything must be condemned, but rather brought about in a different light to work for the betterment of everyone. We do not get what we want. We must compromise. And there is nothing wrong with that. Thus is the dichotomy of being agathicacological, compromisation. We are egotistical beings and we want things for ourselves, but when we learn how to compromise things for the self and things for others, we can truly show the balance that can be done, the balance that can be shared throughout this neural network of intertwined connectivities and consciousnesses. We are the facets and conduits for these messages and our own inspiration, whether it be divine or not. And again, I love you. I wish you the best on your journey. No matter what you have done, no matter what things you have done in your life, what actions you have committed. Because people are capable of change. People are change. But complacency will kill. I will always be one to give chances, because of the fact that I know that people are capable of change. There are those who will spend many incarnations unawakened, and that is okay. Those are the people that you can do nothing but help to guide. You may not have amazing interactions with them. They may never be awakened on the level that we are. They may never see things the way that we are. But we can help show them that there are other ways, other than hate, disgust. People will always be people. And that is what happens. I am by no means perfect. You are by no means perfect. But together, by striving to be the best people that we can be, we can create a community that is 1,000 times % better than what it is now. And that is not to say that today's community is not good. There are very abundant communities in today's world that have it figured out. It's the spreading of share. It's the sharing of these communications and transits through these neural networks of communication that allow us to garner further information and knowledge into who we are and how we can become our better selves. Again, we put ourselves into these human vessels to humble ourselves, to strip our ego, to give ourselves a physical limitation, to see what we can do with it, to push the boundaries. And that, I think, is beautiful. I'm sorry if things today were heavy. Things can be very weighing, especially when they seem uneasy. So, allow us to de-stress and reconnect with ourselves once again. Going back to the beginning of this video, I want you to go through some deep breathing. The in, hold, out, hold method. Once again, the 4-4-4. In for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, hold for 4. You are beautiful, and you are deserving of love, even if you do not feel it. Many blessings be upon you this evening, day, at this time of your experience. Many blessings be upon you at this time of your experience. Namaste.